In this video, we are going to see Introduction to C Programming Language. Now, what is C Programming Language? C is a high-level programming language. C is one of most powerful general-purpose programming language. C language is most extensively used for developing softwares like operating system, databases, compilers, etc. Now, before understanding what is a C programming language, let us understand what is language. Language is a way of communication between two people or more. Language contains set of instructions or guidelines. For example, English is an language. To have a communication between two persons, we need both the persons to be well versed in English. Otherwise, communication will not happen between the two persons or two people. This is the pictorial representation on how the communication between two persons happen, human 1 and human 2. The common thing is English language. Now, what are instructions or guidelines in English language? So, English language is learned with these below mentioned topics such as simple tense, present tense, past tense, what is verb, what is noun, what is proverb, what is pronoun, and much more. So, by learning all these topics step by step, a user or a person will be able to communicate to the other person in the English language. Otherwise, he will not be able to communicate to the other person. So these topics we are mentioning here as instructions or guidelines in English language. So if someone wants to learn the English language, he has to learn all these particular topics. Why do we need to go to programming language? Say people ask, we have English language. Now, why do we need to go to computer programming language? So let us see a few examples and understand why we need to go to the programming language. Example, computer system cannot understand English language. This is the first thing. The second thing is, we will be able to communicate, we will be able to add two numbers, 100 plus 20 is equal to 120. We will be able to do it pretty soon. Whereas if we go to the example 3, it is a huge number, addition of 3 numbers. It will take some time for the human to do the calculation and give the output, right? So these tasks will be done by the computer system pretty easily. That's why to achieve these complex tasks, we are going to programming language. What is computer programming language? Programming language contains set of instructions. Using these instructions, computer system can understand the instructions given from user. Computer system can understand only binary language, that is zeros and one. To have a communication between system and human, we need a programming language. High-level programming language, C, C++, and Java are some of the examples of high-level programming language. So the communication between human to computer happens in the form of C programming language. Now, we have a problem statement. We need to multiply two numbers. First value is 250 and second value is 320. So based on the problem statement, you can see there are 3 steps we can derive at. Step 1, from the problem statement, we understand that x is equal to 250 and y is equal to 320. Step 2, multiply x with y, store the result, say z. Step 3, z is equal to x multiplied by y. So these are the 3 steps with the problem statement. Now, moving ahead, this is the format from the problem statement. So human understandable format from problem statement. X has value 250, that is X is equal to 250, Y has value 320, Y is equal to 320. Z contains value as X multiplied by Y. So Z is equal to X multiplied by Y. So this is the human understandable format from the problem statement we have derived from here. Now let us move on. Now we need to derive the source code from the problem statement. So here it is written in the form of an English language. Now we are converting the same instructions from English language to a source code. Okay, source code where X is equal to 250 and Y is equal to 320 and Z is equal to X multiplied by Y. So we will get the output of the multiplication of two numbers. Now, solution to this is computer can understand only binary language. Humans can understand only English language. Now, you will be able to see the difference between the two things. Computer can understand only binary language, whereas human can understand only English language. So human can communicate with the system, right? To communicate with the system, there should be a common medium between the human and the computer. That's where the compiler comes into the picture. Compiler acts as an intermediate between humans and computer system. So this is the pictorial representation where source code X is equal to 250, Y is equal to 320, Z is equal to X multiplied by Y, which is given to the compiler, and then the compiler converts the source code to binary code, and the binary code is fed to the system as input data, and the system manipulates the data and gives us the output. So this is how the English language or data which is given by the human is given to the compiler, and compiler converts it to binary data, and the binary code is given to the computer, and computer processes the data and generates the output.